We're gonna have to hope for the best on this one. So hi, it's Heather, the crafty writer. My husband had this brilliant idea of replacing all the lights in my overhead light with these really, really bright lights. Except now it seems to be wreaking havoc on the lighting. At least for the camera. So bear with me. Hopefully it'll work. If I have to get up and adjust the blinds to let some sunlight in, I will. I've moved a tiny lamp over here and hopefully it's helping. But we'll see. Alright. Because this is take two. Take two, people. Alright. So today I wanted to make some Halloween themed ephemera. And I figured while I did that, I would answer the 10 crafty questions that's, you know, been going around and everybody seems to be having a lot of fun doing. Before I get started with everything, the first thing I'm going to try and do is work on, I have a couple of these self-adhesive library cards. I got them off of Amazon beginning of the summer, and I want to distress them, so that's why I've got this paper down. This stuff, this is like the Jolie's Boutique stuff. I've had it for 15 years probably. This is Martha Stewart. Again, I've had it for like 15 years. All of this stuff except for, oh yeah, I'll put them over here. Except for this and some of the papers I'll use. I've had for a really, really long time. And I've got some ribbon, and I've got some this really gorgeous Moon and Stars napkin that I got from Kroger yesterday. So we'll see how it goes. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna distress this. I've got, let's see, I'm gonna use Vintage Photo, a little bit of Tattered Rose, and let me slide over and grab all my other stuff. A water bottle. I've got some gelatos. I don't know if I'll use any of them. And then I've got this stuff. Like, it's called Glimmer Spray. I really like it, and I like the effect that it has, but they're really, really messy. So I'll have to see if I feel like really trying those out, because it's just going to get everywhere, and I'm kind of crunched for time. My daughter's school is doing half days this week because they are doing parent-teacher conferences. So, which is good. You know, I like that they kind of make it mandatory that you engage. I think that that's wonderful. The only downside is that you kind of get limited in the amount of time you have to do stuff. So, I'm gonna get a baby wipe and just wipe this down. Make sure there's no dust or anything. I swear my house gets super dusty no matter what I do. Ooh, oh, that's coming off. Cool. I'll just continue wiping this off, and then we'll get started. In the meantime, question number 1 is, what is your name? My name is Heather. I'm not named after anybody. My mom said that she always liked the name Heather, so my name is Heather. It's kind of odd because my sister is named after my mom, and my brother is a junior, so he's got my father's first name and middle name, and of course his last name. My sister and my mom share the same first name, but not the same last name. not the same middle name, but they share the same last name. Question number 2. How did you come up with your YouTube channel name? Well, Heather, of course, is my name. The crafty writer comes from my 2 big passions in life, or my biggest hobbies, crafting and writing. I write mostly fantasy romance novels. I craft more when I'm avoiding editing, which is what I am currently doing right now. Today is supposed to be a writing day, but I don't know. I felt like doing this instead. But yeah, I hate the editing process. It is not my favorite. I don't know, it activates a different part of my brain, and I don't have as much fun with it as the writing and the building and stuff. And then I find also, like, when I do stuff like this, some of the issues I might have had with my writing, I'm able to go through it and move past it. Like your typical writer's block, I'm able to plow through it when I get stuck. If I do something else creative, it helps. So I decided to put the 2 things that I love the most together, crafts and writing. Alright, so we're going to take some Tattered Rose, and we're just going to press it down a little bit and get some ink on this. This technique you can use if you have like a slick surface. If you've got a glass surface, it works. If you get old like hardback books that have like the glossy cover or whatever, you can do it on that as well. I think you can do it probably on like wax paper, like on the waxy side of it. Alright, so I'm going to do some here and here and here. And then you get some water. There you go. And then you take it and you just kind of rub it across. Alright, so I'm going to set that there. I'm going to do the library card because we want that to look nice and gross and grungy and everything too. And then I think I'll probably do this to my second one while this first batch kind of dries a little bit. Alright, so we do it all over again. I think we'll do maybe a little bit more on the pink side this time. Alright, so we're on question number 3. Question number 3 is, what is your favorite type of craft? Currently this, like paper crafts, I think are my top craft. Journal making specifically, like junk journals. I like making ephemera, and I like making the journal itself. So I think that's probably my favorite craft. I've done a lot of different crafts in the past, but we'll get to that because there's a question that kind of asks about that, and so I'll get into more detail about that when we come to that question. Yeah, I think that'll work. And then let's do this one. Number 4, favorite place to shop for craft supplies. Well, I used to work at Michael's, so I'm used to getting most of my craft supplies from, you know, the big box stores or whatever you want to call it. However, I'm gonna get another wet wipe. I'm gonna clean this up a bit, and then I think I'm gonna add some iced currant. So yeah, I used to work at Michael's, and so I do tend to buy a lot of my craft supplies at the big box stores. I'm kind of lucky where I live. The kind of the city or town over, it's got Joann's, Hobby Lobby, and Michael's. So it's got the three major ones. And the way that like Joann's and Michael's are, it's like you've got Michael's here and then Joann's is here. And it used to be that Hobby Lobby was right there. But now Hobby Lobby is way over here. So I don't go to Hobby Lobby as much as I used to. I was going to Joann's the most, but I haven't had the best experience at that Joann's lately. So I don't know. I'm rethinking it. There is a local craft store that I want to go try out because I thought that they only sold like stamps, and while that's great and all, I'm not a huge stamper, but I looked at their website and they have stuff that's not stamps. Like, it looks like they have other stuff. Plus, I'm wanting to find the distressed ink in this size, not in the teeny tiny. So, it looks like they had some Tim Holtz stuff. So I want to go and check them out. Usually if I can buy things local and buy things like small business, I do like to do that because I believe strongly in that kind of stuff. My dad used to own a comic book shop for many years, and I don't know, I feel like you get better customer service when you go to smaller shops because they actually genuinely care about the money you spend. I think for them, it doesn't matter if you spend $5 or $500. They're equally grateful. Unfortunately, in a lot of your box stores, oftentimes we get cashiers that are younger and, you know, they're still learning. And, you know, they don't understand the value of every single customer. And I know this because I used to be that way, you know? So, just trying to tuck this under my desk. It's not working. And we're just going to toss it behind us because we don't need it for a little while. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like you don't get as much good customer service as you do in the smaller stores. So I have started looking at Etsy for some of my stuff. A couple of the YouTubers that I follow that are crafters, they buy a lot of their stuff on Etsy. And after seeing some of the stuff that they've gotten, it's made me rethink it. Because it used to be that I would buy like finished products. Some of the stuff that I bought for my wedding a couple years back, I bought finished products from Etsy. Now granted, I do hand make a lot of my own stuff for certain things, which we'll get into my crafty past. But there are a few things that I couldn't do on my own. Like our wedding bands we got from Etsy. My husband got my engagement ring from Etsy. Like, he found a seller on Etsy, and then he found their actual website because he doesn't have an Etsy account. My cake topper I got from Etsy because there was some stuff that I basically sort of outsourced because I just didn't have the time or the skill set to do some of the stuff. So I never thought about buying like supplies like vintage lace or scrapbook paper like cardstock. I just recently learned about the digital files and how amazing and wonderful they are, and so now I'm starting to reevaluate that. And then some of the stuff like buying Fabri-Tac, you know, I could probably order that online with Amazon. And then I buy a lot of my stuff from antique stores, Goodwills, or thrift stores, and used bookstores. Like, the majority of my books I use is from used bookstores. There's one in particular. It's like a small chain of them. And it's one, like the one up here in Marietta is not the one that I've always gone to. The one I always went to was in Decatur, and I love that place. So I found one not too far from my house, and you know, I like it because you can take in books and you get store credit, so you can you basically get like half off of your books if you do that. So that's really cool. And then I get my supplies from my sister. She is a crafty individual as well. And oftentimes we buy stuff and then we basically split it because, you know, that I guess that's just what sisters do, or that's at least what we do. Alright, I want to let these dry just a little bit more, especially the pockets. They're a little too damp to really do stuff. So I guess while they're drying, I'll still sit and chit chat. Let's see, top 5 crafty channels, because we're on number 5. Top 5 crafty channels. So I started watching the Paper Letter blog. Vivian is the one who does the Paper Letter blog, and I love her stuff. She does mostly like Happy Meal type stuff. So if you're into pen paling, making happy little mail for, you know, stuff. Let me take this out so you guys don't see addresses, but like she made this gorgeous thing. Oh. But let's see, that goes up there. But yeah, I mean, she made like a little simple pocket. I mean, she's a wonderful crafter, and I enjoy watching her stuff because she's very chatty, and so you feel like you kind of get to know her. So I like crafters that are like that you feel like you're a part of their life, like you're hanging out with one of your friends and they're just chatting. She and I have sent mail back and forth to each other a couple of times, and I always look forward to watching her stuff. She does a lot of P.O. box openings and, you know, what my pen pal sent me kind of stuff. So even though it's not her crafting, you see amazing stuff. Like some of the stuff that people send her is just like mind blowing. And if you're into junk journaling and not Happy Mail, you can kind of convert it into junk journaling, which I've done before. And I've taken junk journaling stuff and converted it into Happy Mail. So I think they all can kind of go together. And she started getting into junk journaling too. So I like watching, you know, I enjoyed her first video on that. And then she's got some like a series of videos of crafting without buying craft supplies. So you basically use your everyday stuff, just stuff you find around your house, or, you know, unusual places where you can get craft supplies like the grocery store. So I enjoy her. Gayle Agostinelli, I really enjoy watching her stuff. She does a lot of junk journaling. I'm sure a lot of you who watch me for junk journaling probably know of her. And I mean, she's another one of those that just sits and talks, you know. She's always busy, always doing stuff. So you see her constantly moving and doing some really neat stuff. But yeah, she chats and you feel like you get to know her, and it's really neat. She reminds me of some of my old co-workers that are, you know, older than me, old enough to be my mom type thing, but they're old crafters, and, you know, not old, but, you know, they're crafters as well. And she just kind of, it reminds me of when I would do classes with a few of them, or, you know, that kind of stuff. So I don't know, it's very reminiscent, if that makes sense. I like Nik the Booksmith, Tracie Fox LoveJunk journals, and Wendy's journal adventures. And I know that there's a lot more. I'm always looking for new people to watch. And yeah, but those were the main ones that probably have influenced it the most. It was, I don't remember if I started watching Wendy or Tracie first. I think I started watching them both about the same time. And from them, I've discovered so many more people, and then so many more people. But those are probably some of the ones that I watch the most. I follow, Teacup and Roses, and then there's one, I'm going to pull it up because I cannot pronounce her YouTube name. It's the same thing as her Instagram. Let's see. We need to go to subscriptions here. Alright, come on. It's thinking. Alright, so I cannot pronounce her name. Focus. There you go. I love her stuff. I started following her on Instagram. Her and I think I found Teacup and Roses on here, but it was the other lady that I discovered on Instagram, and I absolutely love her work. I mean, just her aesthetic, the color palettes that she uses are amazing. And I just finished watching last night this video of her doing layering, and oh my god, I am going to have to try it out because she is awesome. This one feels mostly dry enough. I think for a starter on this one, the card doesn't really matter because I don't think we'll do anything to that. This one we're going to just set aside over there. So we're going to work on this. So yeah, those are my top ones. I will try and link them into the description box if you want to check them out, which I highly recommend. Let's see. Do we like it like that, or do we? You know what? We need to put something behind it first. I'm thinking some kind of paper. Let's see. We could put some of that. I think we'll do that. We do need some distress ink. I think we'll do it like that, and then let's get a ruler and try and get a straight-ish edge. Perfect. All right. So question number 6. Favorite colors. Now that's kind of tricky because I love color, and it really depends on my mood more than anything. However, my top colors are always purples and greens. They have been for a really, really long time. I like pretty much all shades. The only colors that I don't like, really, in general, is like neon colors. Like the super, super bright neon colors. I'm not a big fan of those. I like pastels. I like jewel tones, earth tones, fire tones. I'm okay with them. I like the muted tones and like the gray, dusty colors, like mauve. But I love lavender and mint together. And then I love like a nice deep plum and a nice dark forest green together, or an emerald green. Those are probably my color combinations I gravitate to the most. And then I like kind of like celestial colors, or like galaxy colors, you know, if that makes sense. I like stuff that, you know, looks like I'm floating out in space. And then I like black, I like white, and I like grays. I like some browns, but currently brown's not one of my favorite colors because My house has got a lot of brown in it, and the previous owner was the typical male that doesn't know color to save his life, and painted the walls brown with a slightly different brown accent wall, with a brown outside and a lot of wood trim everywhere. So we've lived in this house for a few years, and we're slowly going through the rooms and changing things. So it's a work in progress. Yeah, sometimes I wish we would have been able to just, you know, wait to move in until we painted everything, but at the same time I'm kind of glad we didn't, because I mean, what I would have painted when we first moved in is probably not what I would have chosen or what I would choose today. Especially like the room we're in right now, my craft room or my create room, because I craft and I write in here. Yeah, I'm not sure that I would have chosen these colors to begin with, but I love the way it looks now. I'm just going to add a little extra to that. Okay. Number 7, favorite tools to craft with. I love my bone folder, and then I love these scissors. They're the, the Honeybee EK Success ones. They're my favorite. Back when I didn't have a bone folder, I used the little sheath as a bone folder, and it's kind of carved into it. I don't know how, but anyway, speaking of which, I will probably need these, but yeah, they're my favorite. And then I like a nice good metal ruler, and I don't know, Fabri-Tac probably. That's the other tool. I guess it's a tool. Would it be considered a tool or just a supply? So, and then I've really enjoyed crafting with my sewing machine. Number 8, where do you get your crafting love from? Probably my mom. She's a very crafty individual. I remember, messed that up a little bit. I remember being younger, and she used to sew a lot, and like she would make some of our clothing. She's made these really pretty kind of soft, raggy kind of bunnies. She made one for my sister and I think my brother has one too. And then she's made one for just about all of her grandkids. She's a little behind on like 1 or 2 of them. She's got a lot of grandkids, and only one's from me, and the rest are from my brother. But yeah, so I'll probably get it from her, which leads to the next question. When did you start crafting? Ooh, give me a second. Since the moment I could hold a crayon is when I started crafting. I have always enjoyed the arts. I was the kid that wanted to color everything in rainbow. So I remember being in, first grade, I think it was, and we were supposed to draw a picture of ourselves, and one of my classmates started making fun of me because I colored myself pink, and I gave myself like rainbow hair, and I had classmates or friends that would make fun of me, but it's like that's how I saw my world. It's like everybody was pretty colors, and there were rainbows everywhere, and we weren't just our normal skin tones. We were actual colors. I associated colors with people. If you subscribe to the whole aura thing, it was probably reading auras at a young age. I don't know. But that's kind of, what I did. And like I said, people would poke fun at me, and, I really didn't care. I still don't care. But yeah. And then I've done pretty much, I've done just about every single craft you can think of. I started, of course, drawing and coloring and then painting. I remember getting craft kits when I was younger all the time, like little art sets. My parents really encouraged it with me because that was the thing I seemed the most interested and passionate about. My sister got a lot of books because she liked to read a lot, and my brother, well, he's a boy, so he got boy stuff, like the army type stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think the next one I went to was watercolors. When my grandmother died, she passed away December 23rd. And the last Christmas present I got from her was a book about watercoloring. And, I stuck with it for a while. I'm not real great at it. I've kind of lost any talent I had. That's my problem. I switch from craft to craft to craft, and then I lose some of my skill sets that I built up. But yeah, I did watercolors for a while. I did soap making. So, soap making, body oils, lotions, shower gels, body sprays, bath salts, bath bombs, bubble bath, all that kind of stuff. Face scrubs. I've done all that. I did jewelry making for a while. I've done some sewing, like actual clothing and tablecloths, aprons, and stuff. A couple years ago, I did aprons for all the girls in my family. All the adult girls, all adult women. Let's see. I made my bouquet for my wedding. I made my veil, the bouquets for all my bridesmaids, the boutonnieres for my mom and my mother-in-law, altered my daughter's flower girl dress. Let's see, I've used to Zentangle, which is a kind of organized doodling, if you will. But it's a drawing form. Let's see. Decoupage was one of the first crafts that I really dove into. I could decoupage anything and everything, or Mod Podge. So that's still one of my favorite things. I've made dolls, mixed media. Oh, is there anything else? I've done textile dyeing. Made my own stamp before, like a big block stamp. I was in my senior year in high school. I took photography, so I did photography for a little while. And we did one semester of photography, and the second semester was studio art. So we did a lot of different art forms. We did watercoloring, we made stamps, we engraved on copper, we did like little scratch art stuff, and we drew a picture on fabric, and then we dyed the fabric to the way it was supposed to be, or whatever. I don't know how to describe it. So yeah, I've done at least tried just about everything. I've done scrapbooking, and then and now I'm into paper crafting, journal making, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think that's about it. The only things that I've tried that I cannot seem to do is crochet and needlework, like cross stitch. My sister does both of those, and she's pretty good at it. My mom can crochet. My mom and sister both sew. My mom does watercolors and drawing, and my sister does paper crafts. My dad paints little miniatures because he does miniature gaming. My brother also paints those. I've painted them in the past. My brother briefly got into metalworking. Like he's made bracelets out of just random metal, like blacksmithing and stuff. And then he did last year, I think for Christmas, he made wallets and journals. Let's see, out of leather. And that's the one that he made me, not this bit, you know. So, I think I'm going to make this my idea book, but he made it in Traveler's Notebook style, so I can take all the signatures out. So, yeah. So that's something I'm probably going to do soon. Yeah, my mom, like I said, she watercolors and she draws. Trying to find something of hers. I got a ton of her stuff somewhere, but I cleaned in here until like everything is like put in different places than it was. Yeah, here we go. Like that's some of my mom's watercolors that she's done. That was just her playing around when my daughter was painting when she was babysitting. I don't currently have anything of my sister's, and I don't have anything of my dad's. But like the whole hallway in my upstairs is my mom's art gallery, as we like to joke, because it's nothing but her artwork. So yeah, I think I come from a very crafty family. My sister-in-law, my brother's wife, she's also extremely crafty too. So crafting is in our blood. It's in our family. And my daughter has started crafting a lot. Like she likes to paint and she likes to color and she likes to craft along with me. Okay, so let's continue on with this. Do we want danger? I think we want danger. Do we want to put it on something? I think we might. What do we want to put it on? Ooh, let's get some old book paper. Let's see. Let's move you over. Ooh, I could put it on music paper. Ooh, yeah, like this. Creepy. Well, that's not really creepy, but would that look good? Let's lift it up, and then we'll do the last question. Let's. Oh, I did not expect that to happen. Well, I guess that's what we'll be doing. Okay then. All right, let's just set you to the side, and I'll put you over there. Let's grab this sheet. Hey, I didn't say rip yet. Unruly paper. This is like super old music paper. Let's see. I want it to fit. Should probably put a little bit of glue on that, don't you think? Glue book is down here. All right. So number 10, the very last question. What is your favorite craft project so far? Well, that's a very hard question. I'm proud of a lot of crafting stuff that I've done through the years. I don't have majority of them. Well, I have my bouquet, my wedding bouquet. I was very proud of that. It turned out better than I expected. Same thing with my veil. We had a Star Trek themed wedding because my husband's, well, we're both sci-fi nerds. But I would have been happy with like a more fantasy themed wedding. But he wanted, sci-fi, and that's fine. So we chose Star Trek. And, but I had to add a little of my fantasy aspects to it. So, like my bouquet was done with some really pretty white or off-white frosted looking flowers that I bought at Christmas. They had like glitter on them and everything. They were gorgeous. And I put butterflies in bouquets. And butterflies were on my veil. It was just, I was really proud of how that turned out. I used to make these, I call them fairy boxes or shadow boxes. And it's basically like a wood canvas. And you know how like with regular stretched canvas, how it's like kind of hollow on the opposite side, on the back. So it was basically the same thing, but made out of wood, or like the what is it called? The particle board type stuff. So I would get those, I would paint them, and then I would make fairies out of polymer clay and put like little butterfly wings on them, and then make a whole scene on the inside, and yeah, glue it all inside with moss and leaves and flowers and stuff, and it was awesome. They looked so good. I have not a single one, because true to my form, I give 90% of stuff that I make away for free, or 95. The only thing I've ever actually had commissioned where I actually accepted money from it was Zentangles, and a friend of mine insisted on paying me some money for my artwork, especially the custom stuff. Like she would commission a few pieces. So yeah, I think this needs something else, but I just don't know what. I don't know. I don't think there's anything else I have. I wonder if I could put glitter on it. Or would that look too cheapy? Let's do it anyway. Why not? I like a little glitter in life, don't you? And this is just Michael's Studio G glitter glue. It's just a white. My cat's staring at me from the hallway. The other project that I really am proud of is the journal I made for myself. The Bewitching one. If you want to go back and look at that video, I really like how that one turned out. Though I do have to say, there was one pocket I did for my Texas themed journal that I absolutely love how it turned out. It's got the journaling card and it says unforgettable. I don't know why, but that was just like, that was my favorite piece in that journal. It was just perfection, you know? And that doesn't happen very often, I feel like. You know, I know what it is. The blood is just way too bright. And it just doesn't, I don't know. We're going to continue on. And maybe after this dries, maybe I'll try and distress the blood a little bit and make it look a little bit, you know, grosser. But yeah. So that's my 10 crafty questions. I feel like I have to concentrate. These don't have the best tips on them, so sometimes or you think you're doing a careful job and you're just making it look blobby and gross. Well, not gross in like the cool, creepy way, but just kind of bleh. So how was everybody's weekend? I hope everyone had a good weekend. I had a pretty good weekend, I think. Ended up doing a little bit of shopping. I got some hair coloring spray and body paint for my daughter for Halloween. She is going to be Twilight Sparkle again, but like the Equestria Girl form. So they're sort of human-ish. That's what she was last year for Halloween, and she wants to be it again. It's like, okay. I kind of figured she'd choose something else, but nope, and she's fine with wearing the same costume. So we'll have a trial run, not this weekend, but next weekend. If she just chooses to wear it, she might choose to wear one of her PJ Masks costumes, because she likes to play dress up. But we're going to a museum on the 23rd, I think it is. They do like a spooky night at the museum where kids can go and they can they make crafts, and they do like a scavenger hunt in the museum, which is like a learning scavenger hunt. We did it last year and we had a lot of fun. So I think that we'll see if that's done. That might be done. You see a little bit of glitter in there, a little bit of sparkle. But we'll set this aside. Where's the card? There's the card. Sometimes it all comes together once you put the card in. Okay. So we're going to set this aside, and we'll get started on this one. But yeah, so oops, I didn't mean to press that. Okay, there we go. So yeah, we'll probably do that. We'll be doing that in a couple weeks, and then we'll see how the body paint and the hair stuff goes. She's got some auditory issues and texture issues, so we'll see. We'll see. It may not work very well. I don't know how she'll feel about her whole body being, well, not whole body, but her body being painted. Okay, so let's see. I was thinking about putting one of these at the top of here. Or, you know what, I could put it just across. Which one? Let's do Beware. That's still a bit too white. Let's do this. Let's add a little bit of that stuff to it. Whole idea is to look kind of really old and grungy. So yeah. So my daughter really loves Halloween. She's 5, so she's at the age. She doesn't like a lot of the super scary stuff. But I don't know. Usually I'm all for Halloween and I get like super excited about it. It's still one of my favorite holidays, even being an adult. But for some reason this year it's just like I'm not feeling it. And usually by now, like, I've got my whole house decorated for fall. I've got Halloween stuff mixed in with fall and Thanksgiving-y type stuff, and usually I have to barely wait for Thanksgiving before I start decorating for Christmas, because I'm one of those early ones. And it's just the year that I'm thinking, do I really want to put up a Christmas tree? Do I want to put it up? Do I want to have to take it down? Of course I'll put the tree up. I mean, how can you not with, 5-year-old? But I don't want to do it. That's for sure. No, I don't think any of those. Okay. So, let's see. I don't know if any of these will fit. I don't know about these. I bought them years ago, of course, because I love Halloween, right? And then it's like I've yet to figure out what to use them for. I used something there. I think maybe we need Do we need ribbon? I don't know. Got some witches. Oh, because then they'll be cut off. Well, I could do it. No, it'll still be cut off a little bit. We just barely. I don't know. No, I think I'll hold off on the ribbon. I think I want to do something with these cute little bats. Okay. Let's look at our paper pile. Move closer. Move closer. You got that. What about you guys? Do you guys celebrate Halloween? Are you excited for it? What do you do on Halloween? Are you one of those people that likes to do parties, or do you do just stay at your home and pass out candy? Do you have a kid that you go trick-or-treating with? Yeah, I'd like to know. Usually by now I'm like marathoning spooky stuff and, you know, trying to creep myself out, which, you know, it's not that hard to do sometimes. But yeah, I don't know what it is. This year I'm just like, meh. I think it's I just have so much stuff going on, or I've had so much stuff going on the past few months that the thought of celebrating and getting all that kind of stuff geared up, it's just like, ugh. Do we have to? But I think I'm going to collage just about the whole thing, which just makes no sense since I covered it, right? That's silly. That's silly, you guys. Jeez. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, we could do it like that. There we go. That way we could have that right in there. And then maybe we could have that there, or do we want it up higher? Oh. Yeah, I'll have to make this the last thing because I'll have to stop because I have to go pick up my kiddo early and I gotta go to the pharmacy first. Almost out of my prescription. I think I kind of like it like that. Ooh, I got an idea what I can do kind of in the middle. We'll see if it works. It may not, but fingers crossed, guys. Let's have a little faith, right? Oh. But yeah. I think this year one of us will stay at the house while the other one takes my daughter out trick-or-treating. Because I don't think we really need both of us to do it. We always did, both of us, previous years. But I think this year we might divide and conquer. My neighborhood's pretty good, though. I mean, you can, you usually can, like, leave a bowl of candy on your top of your driveway, or you can leave it at your door. And the kids are actually really good about only grabbing just a little bit. And I remember a couple years ago, we had some prepackaged sliced apples. And as a joke, I put them in the bowl with the candy. Because I was like, why not, you know? I did it as a joke because I remember growing up, and you know, you'd always have that one neighbor that would give out apples or toothpaste or pennies, like they'd give you stuff like that, and you're always like, when you're younger, you're like, what the heck, man, I want the candy. So I did it as a joke, and you know what? Only one pack was left out of like 10. So last year, I did it again. And again, I've got candy out there, and there was not a single pack of the apples left. It's like, wow, we apparently have a healthy neighborhood. But I think it's because a lot of our neighbors, we all shop at the same places. So we all had the same, like, Costco candy. And I think for a lot of the kids, it was just something different. So I think we're going to try and do a different kind of candy this year. Alright, so the idea I had was to put some red kind of sort of in the middle here. I think I need a brush. Pardon me. Let me see. Soft brush, soft brush. You're soft. Will do. You're soft-ish. You're not super soft, but I think you'll be fine. And I'll just open this and dip into here for some water. So I don't have to go out and get water. Because I never thought about doing that. Actually, in my head, when I was planning this, I was like, yeah, make sure you have this, make sure you have that, because I was trying to plan this in my head yesterday, and, you know, you get up here and you just forget it all. Forget it all, people. But, yeah, we'll probably get our pumpkin next weekend, or the weekend after. Probably the weekend after. Well, yeah, not this weekend, but next weekend. There's a local church. They call themselves the Pumpkin Church. And they have pumpkins out every year. And it's like really cute how they're set up. It's like this big like front yard almost. And it looks like a really cute little pumpkin patch. And we drove by it last year, and I was like, oh, well, let's stop and get pumpkins here instead of, you know, the grocery store. Because they had some odd looking ones there. And my daughter had so much fun just running up and down the aisles and just looking at pumpkins. And they had some really cute, like, odd shaped pumpkins too. So put a little bit of red there. There we go. So we'll probably do that soon. Alright. I think we'll close that up. Move you there and move you there. I'll clean you up in just a minute. Alright, so I think that might be it. I feel like I need something here. What do we have? Oh yeah, we were going to do bats. Duh. So let's put some bats. I know purple and red's not exactly the best color combination. I wonder if that's too wet. That's probably too wet. Let's grab some bats off. One of every color combination. How about that? Yep, that one's down. Cool. Let's add just a dab of glue. Okay, Fabri-Tac, just a little bit. Don't ooze out on me. Hey, Jack. My cat's brought his green ball, so I will have to let you go pretty soon. We're almost done though, right? We're almost done. And I'm just going to put these on kind of randomly. Oop. I'm oozing. Okay. Alright, let's clean our... Oh, mess up. I oozed a little bit too much, guys. My bad. Hey, 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 boogers. Glue boogers. Alright. It's stuck to my hand. Okay. Alright. Let's see. I think that'll do. I think that's good enough, guys. Alright, so we've got little Beware that we kind of dyed, and then that'll slide right on in. Still a little damp, but you know, it's okay. It's okay. A little bit of sparkle bits. And then let's see if I can grab this. And then we got this one. And we didn't put anything on this, though we probably could. But I think it's fine. Ooh. I don't know if you can tell, but the glitter's kind of turned like a yellowish color. Like over in here. So that's kind of cool. That works, because it was like a clear, glittery stuff. Alright. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed crafting along with me, if you crafted along or just watch, and hope you enjoyed the 10 crafty questions. If you'd like to learn any more questions, please don't hesitate to ask. If there's a particular kind of video you would like to see, let me know. I've got a few ideas that I am making samples on, and then we'll make them together. So I've got that in the works, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So keep your eyes out, I guess. And I will see you next time. I hope you have a wonderful day.